All rise.
This is Deeper Than Money. Talk to me. I want viewers watching my show to believe in themselves.
Judge Hatchett is compelling.
If he is not going to honor you, he needs to be gone.
Compassionate.
I don't want you to give up on your dreams. I don't. And I want to figure out how we get this straight.
She's powerful.
If I were in this situation, I would have put you out too.
And she's on the bench.
I feel like I'm being judged here.
That's what I do.
You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Roger Cambridge is suing Dominique Moss in the amount of $1,200. Mr. Cambridge claims he gave his ex money to spend at a concert and says she used it to pay for photos with the performer instead of buying him a souvenir.
Good day. All right. So, Roger, you're in here suing the defendant for some $1,200.
Yes, ma'am.
Clearly, you've got to explain to me what's happening. What happened? Why are you suing her?
So, I bought 2 tickets for us to go enjoy our favorite artist together, right? And
Wait. Before you even go there, I need to understand the relationship. How are you all connected?
so this is my now ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend.
Yes. And
With the emphasis on ex and
yes.
former.
Yes.
But there was a time when you were all in a relationship.
Yes.
And well, let's go back to the beginning. I want to know, how did you all meet?
So we met at a nightclub, one fabulous night, and we were at the bar grabbing a drink. You know, we hit it off. I ended up buying her a drink and whatnot, and you know, we just kind of escalated pretty quickly from there. From that point on, we ended up together and having a great time as boyfriend and girlfriend, doing various things. You know, going out, eating good food at different restaurants and whatnot.
So you all hit it off immediately.
Yes, Your Honor.
And it was great. I mean, he says it was great.
It was great until it wasn't.
Oh, okay. It was great until it wasn't. So how long was it great?
The normal shelf life, about 3 months. That's how long our relationship was. So.
It's only 3 months?
Yes, Your Honor. In this day and age, men normally show themselves after about 3 months, their true self. So.
And then you bought these tickets, that's what I understand, to go, to the two of you, to go to your favorite artist.
Yes.
And so what happened?
So I got called in for a pickup. I'm a commercial truck driver.
Okay.
I got called for a 2-load pickup, which was about 45 minutes from the house, from where I live. So I wasn't able to go to the concert. I told Dominique to take her cousin with her so she wouldn't be alone. She would enjoy herself,
Well,
right?
that was very nice of you.
Thank you.
That was very generous, yes?
Yes.
And so what happened?
So they went to the concert, and here I am still trying to be a good boyfriend. I'm trying to check in. I sent her $1,200 so that way she could buy drinks, have some good food,
What?
enjoy herself.
What? So wait a
and
minute,
get us some merchandise.
wait. So in addition to the tickets, you then sent her electronically another $1,200?
Yes. I have the
So
proof
that
right
she
here.
could have a great time without you, with her cousin.
Of course. She's supposed to be my girlfriend, right?
Okay, so you have receipts. You have these, obviously
Yes,
you're getting
ma'am.
ready to show me something.
I got the Cash App receipt right here.
Oh my.
Would you like to take a look?
Yeah. So not only do you have a man who's working, who has a job, who bought the tickets for the concert, but then is going to send you $1,200 for you to have a great time with your cousin.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what happened? I want to know from your perspective what happened.
We ended up having an amazing time, honestly.
So you went with your cousin?
Yes, I took my cousin Deandra.
Okay, all right. And what happened?
Well, Deandra ended up knowing a couple of people that worked backstage, and this was like a great opportunity. You know, it's our favorite artist. We have songs that we share together. There was a meet and greet there, and it just so happened that it just cost almost the same amount of money that he had sent me as a gift to enjoy this concert with my cousin, to take pictures with him. And so that's what we did.
What? What? You spent $1,200 just to take pictures with a celebrity.
Well, no, Your Honor, not the full 1,200. We did also enjoy some food, drinks while we were there as well, and it wasn't just for me, it was for hers too.
Okay, so now let me understand, Roger. If this was a gift for her to have a good time with her cousin, what was the problem and why are you in here suing her?
I specifically asked for her to bring me back something so I could feel like I was a part of the whole thing, right? I spent money on the tickets. I gave her money so that way she wouldn't be famished while she was in there at the concert. And I also wanted a little memento, you know? But instead of doing that, she took the money and paid for those pictures.
Did you bring him something back?
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Well, there was actually no expectation for me to bring anything back. He had sent the $1,200 with no limitations. It was a gift, and I could use it at my full leisure, which I clearly did.
Oh, clearly. Oh, yeah, we're clear about that.
Coming up on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
And at first I thought it was admiring, you know, I thought it was sweet that he wanted to keep me all for himself, but then I realized he wanted to keep me all for himself in a strange, controlling way.
And later,
Why was it necessary to take precautions if there was not a problem of possible flooding on this property?
We were told, you know, everyone in every unit did that.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Roger Cambridge, who is suing Dominique Moss for breach of contract.
Is that what caused the breakup between the two of you?
Yes.
I would say it was that, amongst other things.
Well, tell me what other thing.
Yeah, so there was always a lack of communication, you know? Like, yes, we have our own lives, and she'd go out, hang out with her girlfriends, and I would go hang out with my guy friends, and we would never really mix those two together.
That's a lie.
How so?
Your
Why
Honor,
is it a lie?
I constantly tried to get him to hang out with my friends. I'm a hairstylist, that's my day job. I'm also building my career up, so I do happen to be around a lot of people, a lot of influential people as well.
Right.
Roger has had issues with his integrity and me being around certain crowds of people. So,
Wait. Stop right there. Issues with his integrity. What does that mean?
well, Roger is very generous in our relationship. He is also really insecure as well. And I noticed that, and so I would invite him to my gigs and my things that I would go to, work events or different events. It came with, you know, other perks as well. And he was always really insecure about the people I was around, insecure about the events I would go to. I would bring him, and he would be like a stick in the mud, wouldn't talk to anyone. It would make it really hard for me to, like, network. So, and he never extended the olive branch back. I was never able to meet any of his friends. He actually tried to keep me away from his trucker friends because he said guys would be guys. And at first I thought it was admiring, you know, I thought it was sweet that he wanted to keep me all for himself, but then I realized he wanted to keep me all for himself in a strange, controlling way, rather than me actually meeting someone that's
not
like,
controlling.
you are very controlling.
No.
Some of his personal people, I always brought him into my life, and then he would use that and flip it in our relationship, which caused a lot of tension and mistrust on his end.
So when she would invite you and try to get you included in her life, she was saying that you weren't really connecting.
Well, if we are at her work event, I want to let her do her thing, right? I want to let her navigate the area and the situation at hand and do what
Okay.
it is she has to do.
Doesn't sound like you all were really compatible to me, though. And that's what it kind of sounds like to me. But we're back here to the $1,200. Let's get back to why we're here. Did you ask her to bring you something back from the concert?
Yes, I did, ma'am, and I have proof right here.
Okay, let me see that.
I was expecting a hoodie or something, you know?
Something.
He just dropped his latest release.
Okay, so you couldn't come to the concert. Obviously, you were working. All right. But she says, I'm going to be sick when our song comes on. I mean, it seems kind of sentimental, right? Go on. Just sent you something for drinks and food and maybe some merch, which I think he meant for him, right? Thanks, baby, and get me something too, is what he said. And no problem. That's what you said. You said no problem, thank you. You did say you were gonna get him something.
I didn't see anything at the concert he would honestly like. There wasn't any merch that we didn't already have. However, I did have something planned for him the night he came back home.
What did you have planned for him?
I had a very nice date night plan for after he got off work on his day off that he did want to go to, and for getting me like such a great time at the concert, even though he couldn't make it. I had nice lingerie laid back on the bed. I had just taken a shower, hair freshly washed.
So this is after you came home from the
Yes.
concert that night?
Yes.
This is what you were planning. And what happened?
He completely exploded on me. He came in furious, asking me a bunch of questions, really intrusive on what I was doing, wasn't showing me the same kind of care. I wanted to tell him about my night. I wanted to tell him how nice it was that he gifted me to go and see our favorite artists together and how appreciative I was of that. And I wanted to show him my appreciation as well. And he just questioned my integrity, wondered what I was doing, was talking down on my cousin as well. He doesn't necessarily like Deandra that well anyway. And it was a snowball effect from there.
All right, I'm going to rule on the money. Let me say a couple of things, though, to both of you. I think that you could have been more thoughtful, but I think you could have done something. I think you could have picked up something for him. I don't care how small. I think you could have done something for him and not just spent all the $1,200. That's a lot of money to just go out and have a good time, especially after you have the concert tickets, right? So am I going to give him the full $1,200 back? No, because I do agree that it was a gift. I do agree it was a gift. But I also think that you've got to be more realistic about these situations and what you're doing. It seems to me that you're generous, and I appreciate that, but you also need to be more realistic about what your expectations are and maybe be very clear about what your expectations are in this situation. And so I'm going to award you $600. I'm going to give you $600 back. Am I going to give you the full $1,200? No, because I think it was your intention to give it as a gift. But I do think she could have brought you something back. And for that reason, I am entering judgment for the plaintiff for $600. But you can't buy people's attention. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes, sir.
Nothing further, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600 for the reasons I've so stated. We'll stand adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $600.
I wish that I would have got the whole thing, you know? It wasn't a good experience for me.
I wish that Roger has the best life and intentions going forward.
Coming up,
We've never had any floods.
That's not the point.
I didn't even think that it was necessary.
you're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. Evan Rodriguez is suing Bethany Reed in the amount of $10,500. Mr. Rodriguez claims the defendant failed to disclose potential flooding when he bought her property and says she refuses to pay for the water damage to his condo.
I understand that you are suing the defendant for some $10,500. I understand that you, from the complaint that you filed with the court, you bought a property that originally she was living in. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so what kind of property did you purchase from her?
I purchased a condo for $240,000.
All right. And you're suing today for what reasons?
I bought the property, and it was a great property. I was really proud of my purchase. But when I moved in November, during the first rainfall, it flooded. And it was found that I believe she failed to disclose that there was a grading issue that I found through a landscaper that I hired.
But the flood was because of the atmospheric river storm, not because there was anything wrong with the property.
So is it your sworn testimony that you'd never had any flooding problems at this property before, ever?
No,
That is
Never.
not as he
incorrect.
describes, never.
That
No,
is
not as he described. My question simply to you is, have you ever had any flooding issues at your property before?
Never a flood issue.
Sir, if you would come and join us, please. Would you introduce yourself for the court, please?
Yeah, I'm Luis Herrera, and I'm the handyman for the building.
All right, and so you're familiar with this property in question?
Yes. Yeah.
And tell me what you know.
Last winter, I actually helped Miss Reed set up some sandbags in the back of her patio.
And why was that necessary?
It was for precautions because of the severe weather. There was a little bit of a flood, so it did protect it.
No, but that was the atmospheric river.
Then why did you replace
We never had
baseboards
any
beforehand?
flood. We did precautions every season around that time.
Coming up,
I've never had any of these issues happening to me. I was in the unit for 12 years.
12 years?
Never had
Long
any
enough to know
issues.
you need sandbags.
you're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett. The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Evan Rodriguez, who is suing Bethany Reed for property damage.
Why was it necessary to take precautions if there was not a problem of possible flooding on this property?
We were told, everyone in every unit did that. It wasn't just me. They just said, take precautions, and I did.
All right, so did you ever raise that question when you were buying the property? Did you have the property inspected?
I did have the property inspected initially.
And tell me about it. What happened with the inspection of the property?
Inspection came out good. Nothing seemed like there was going to be a flood. And we quickly closed escrow soon after.
And so
the
what
living room.
damages have you incurred because of this?
My living room flooded, so it damaged the carpet, which I had to repair. The walls were a little bit corroded, and my laundry room also flooded as well. I have pictures here for you.
May I see those, please? And Ms. Reed, it is your testimony that you have never had any of these problems happen while you own
That's
this
true.
property.
Yes, I've never had any of these issues happening to me. I was in the unit for 12 years.
12 years?
Never had
Long
any
enough to know
issues.
you need sandbags.
Why didn't you disclose that you had to do sandbags as a precaution in anticipation that there might be flooding in this unit?
We've never had any floods.
That's not the point.
I didn't even think that it was necessary
How
to do
often,
such
in
a
the 12
thing.
years that you've been in this unit, you've done it more than once? Yes?
We were told to do it every year around, rain season, not flood season.
Judge Hatchett's verdict when we return. You're watching The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
And so again, it was your responsibility as a seller, even though in your mind, and I understand what you're saying, that the water did not damage the property while you were there. The fact is that you took precautions every year during the rainy season to put sandbags out, which says that there is the potential of flooding in that unit. And for those reasons, I am granting the plaintiff the $10,500. But you'd better get some better inspectors before you move to another situation.
Oh, thank you,
There's
Judge.
nothing further, we'll stand adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $10,500.
I gotta get better inspectors if there is a next time.
I don't think that it was actually fair because this had to do with the weather.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.